Uzun ince bir yoldayım. Kimi diyorum gündüz gece.
The region of Lake Marmara is famous for its production and export of dried white grapes, known as sultanas. However, the drying out of the lake caused groundwater levels to fall substantially. Due to the lack of access to water from the Gerdes Dam, the vineyards could not be irrigated, causing the production of sultanas to be reduced by over one half in 2023. Our first stop on our way to the lake is the Ahmetli Weir, on the Gediz River, which was constructed back in the 1970s. Dr. Cem Polat Çetinkaya, Mediterranean team leader at the Dokuz Eylül University in Izmir, Turkey, explains about the water allocation challenges.
Here, this one is the biggest one. It dominates almost 60,000 hectares. Yes, 60,000 hectares. Reservoir can release only 90 cubic meters per second. But in reality, for all the irrigations in the basin, we need 110 cubic meters per second. Because of that, we have different types of rotations. A huge rotation, for example, between the weirs. There are another weir. Then afterwards, again, a smaller rotation in between the irrigation associations here. In the secondaries, then afterwards, again, they apply another rotation in the tertiaries. So, like you see, it needs a huge effort to manage the water to feed everyone.
On our way to the Gerdes Dam, we get our first glimpse of the dried out Lake Marmara. Cem introduces us to Dr. Göksel Geçgel from the Regional Directorate of State Hydraulics, Cem Aykan, the mayor of Göl Marmara, and to Erdal Ziyan, chairman of the Göl Marmara Chamber of Agriculture. The water level in the Gerdes Dam is clearly very low.
To have more water in the coming years. Yeah.
The downstream part of the dam reveals a silted up riverbed. Our final stop during the field excursion brings us to the shores of the dried up Lake Marmara.
We have to tell that this was the place where the boats are coming and bringing fish to the fish cooperative here. And then the lake had many species, more than 100 types of birds, many mammals. Generally they had always high levels of groundwater, and because of that, Göl Marmara most of times didn't need any irrigation during the summer season.
As we bid our farewell to the lake, we look at a map showing its original extent and its much smaller size before it dried up completely. In the second part of this clip, we take a look at the efforts undertaken by Devising to devise ways of restoring the lake through the use of nature-based solutions. Early on in the Mare Mediterra project, Cem learns that conflicting interests are an obstacle to bring together all high-level stakeholders. However, with the help of Erdal Ziyan, chairman of the Göl Marmara Chamber of Agriculture, 89 local farmers join in a roundtable discussion to make their voices heard. The farmers point out that due to the drying up of the lake, they had to start relying on the pumping of groundwater for their irrigation needs. Because of this, the farmers observed that not only the groundwater levels were falling rapidly, also the groundwater quality was deteriorating at an alarming rate, thus presenting a huge challenge to safeguard their livelihood. It is especially noteworthy that the roundtable discussions revealed that no less than 7 nature-based solutions were already being implemented by the farmers in the Göl Marmara area. We will learn more about these later on in this video clip. The roundtable leads to the launch of a living lab to test and validate further agroecological practices, such as mulching, using equipment provided to the farmers through PRIMA funding. Erdal Ziyan explains he is engaged in vineyard and olive farming. While plant residues usually remain in the field, he opines these should be mulched and restored to the soil. Cem asks whether the mulching equipment is suitable for nature-based solutions. Erdal confirms, absolutely. He adds that the machine also has additional features, such as sliding according to the tree rows, reaching under the olive trees, and cutting vineyard branches with just one go on the rows. The Living Lab members also joined in participatory GIS practice sessions, organized by Devising, with the purpose to document in which field plots they were already implementing nature-based solutions. Ihsan Shanli, who cultivates grapes on 100 acres of land, explains that he is avoiding the use of chemicals to achieve the purest quality and highest export value. Also, Fevzi Arik grows organically, and in his capacity as a consultant to the Agricultural Chamber, guides other farmers in this direction. Fevzi advocates the use of animal droppings as fertilizer, organic pesticides, and green manuring. Cem invites Erdal to confirm that to reach all his field plots, the water from the Gerdes Dam has to be allocated to this location too. Erdal confirms. Next, Cem asks if he would prefer to irrigate his land, thereby competing with the lake, or whether he would consider the restoration of the lake to be more important. Erdal is clearly convinced that the restoration of the lake will be more beneficial. He explains that when the lake existed, it had a capacity of 320 million cubic meters and a very large surface area of 82,000 acres. You should have seen the quality of olives, vineyards, and tomatoes around it. Those olives would bounce back from the ground, solid as rock and high quality. The pure air protected and nurtured the areas surrounding it and provided higher yields. Now that the lake has dried, the product quality of the plots and the olive groves have decreased. Therefore, in Erdal's view, the water allocation from the Gerdes Dam to Lake Marmara stands out as an important solution. The members of the Living Lab also agreed to provide testimonies, in the form of video clips, of the nature-based solutions they have been testing and validating. These video clips are available from the Mara Mediterra project website with subtitles in Arabic, English, French, Greek, and Turkish. Ihsan explains he is incorporating the weeds into the soil and fertilizes without any chemicals or herbicides. Erdal explains he is cutting fig tree saplings just below the knee height. He will bind two of the developed branches on this height and make a main branch. From this branch, he will harvest figs from new shoots every year. Based on the testimonials from the Living Lab members and the viewpoints collected during the roundtable and the participatory GIS practice sessions, the team at Devising drew up the action plan to restore Lake Marmara through the use of nature-based solutions. As Cem explains, the action plan is made up of
existing nature-based solutions which are already applied, which are the green manure, cover crops, organic fertilization, mulching, conservation tillage, and deficit irrigation, and recycling and land application of compost. So those MBSs are already applied. Afterwards, as a proposed one, we have the agroforestry around the Gerdes Dam because it's a forested highland, and also the agricultural chamber proposes to the villagers there to introduce a kind of fig which is very resistant to frost and also has a high value in the market, so that can be mixed with the forestry already there, and also these three can be introduced there with the olive trees. And another one that we have proposed and also calculated it and also simulated it through the mathematical models, that we need minimum ecological flow for the lake directly from the Gerdes Dam after the dam restored enough water for its reservoir. And also we need the natural systems for water quality, because most of the farmers say that the existence of lake is directly related with the groundwater and the quality of seaweeds, and well, there are others I don't know. They used to grow here, and this is a natural system for the cleaning. It's like a natural treatment plant for the groundwater. So this should be also introduced to the area in order to restore the ecosystem and also to support the rural area for their activities in the agriculture and also for their well-being.
The Mara-Mediterra Partnership wishes to congratulate Cem and his research colleagues at Devising for their inspiring efforts to safeguard the livelihood of the rural communities in the Lake Marmara region.
Bilmiyorum ne haldayım, gidiyorum gündüz gece.